Okay, so in this video we're going to take a moment and talk about factor pairs. So a factor pair is basically two factors or two numbers, two natural numbers that multiply to give a particular number. So the way I express it here is if you take any natural number, you can express that natural number as a pair of factors, other numbers that when you take the product of those two numbers give you the original number. Okay, so again, it's a little verbose, but again, any natural number can be expressed as the product of two other natural numbers. Those two other natural numbers together we're going to call a factor pair. Hope that makes sense. Now, every natural number larger than 1 has at least one factor pair. 1 and itself, because 1 times any number will equal that number. Okay? So any number can be written as a product of itself and 1 then. So now, let me put it this way. There are many numbers that have more than one factor pair, right? Like 3 only has one factor pair, 1 in itself. But 12, what about 12? How many factor pairs does 12 have? Well, obviously it has itself in 1, right? So if you look at the factor pairs, 12 is obviously divisible by 1. So we get 1 and 12 are a factor pair. What else is a factor pair? Well, let's start dividing by, right? So to be a factor, you have to be divisible by a number, right? So let's see what numbers divides 12, right? So let's see. 12 is divisible by 2, so that gives us what? 2 and 6. So 2 and 6 represent a factor pair. By the way, 6 also divides 12, right? So now let's go to 3. Is 12 divisible by 3? Yes, it is. So then I get 3 and 4, right? Because 3 times 4 is 12. Okay? And if I go to 4, well, obviously I already got 4. And so at this point, I've got all the factors. So all of the factors of 12 are 1, or the factor pairs, rather, of 12. And so, in fact, these are all of the factors of 12 as well. Now also, another thing to mention is whether, again, the order doesn't matter. Okay, remember, in multiplication, order doesn't matter as far as the product of those two numbers. So that means, remember the commutative law, the commutative property. So 12 times 1 is the same as 1 times 12. So the order doesn't matter. Okay, so it doesn't give us anything that's different. Okay? That's it. See you next time.